Bold and Beautiful, 5459, 10/24, 2008.
Who was there to teach him morality and ethics and personal responsibility? He sure as hell didn't learn that from you. Well, what I think is he wanted to get back at Ridge so badly, he was willing to do anything. That's what I think. He was willing to sacrifice his relationship with you, his pride, his self-respect. Who the hell does that sound like? He wanted what he wanted when he wanted it. And now he's destroyed a family, and that girl is dead. And you know what? You're right. He isn't to blame. He isn't responsible. You are. You are. What you did to that boy. You made him into the man that he is today. You're to blame. You killed my granddaughter.
Did you tell Hope and RJ?
I couldn't. When I woke up, Hope was already dressed in her flower girl dress. I told her there wasn't going to be a wedding today because it was too windy at the beach. She was disappointed, but she believed it. I think she was up for a while, dressed in her dress. I just couldn't tell her about Phoebe's death. Was that wrong? Sometimes I don't even know if I'm making the right choice or not.
How do you explain a senseless death to a child? I don't even understand it myself. Is Rick upstairs? I think it's time I find out what happened last night. Taylor? Taylor? Taylor, I am so sorry.
I'm afraid there's not much I can do at this point.
Why not?
Well, the driver wasn't drinking. He wasn't impaired or anything.
But you said he was driving twice the speed limit.
Mrs. Forrester, I understand that you're looking for a reason for this tragedy, but sometimes accidents just happen.
Look, my granddaughter is dead, and you're damn right I'm looking for a reason. I don't care whether he had alcohol in his system or not. He was driving erratically, and the tire marks on the road prove that. I want him held accountable.
Look, you're grieving. Focus on getting yourself through this terrible time of loss. Take care of your family. And please, just trust me.
I trust you to do your job, Lieutenant.
I'll keep you abreast of any further developments.
Thank you.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
This is all my fault.
Oh,
Phoebe died because of me.
no.
Rick left before I got up.
I need to talk to him. I need to find out what happened. Has he said anything to you?
They were on the way to the rehearsal dinner together.
That's what doesn't make sense. Why were they even together in the first place?
I guess she jumped in the car at the last minute. He wasn't expecting to be with her.
Look, ever since this ridiculous relationship with Taylor, she's had nothing to do with Rick. Now all of a sudden she's hitching rides in his car?
She needed to talk to him, Ridge. They haven't really seen each other since Taylor broke up with Rick, and she needed to vent her anger about the whole situation.
That's what Rick said, that she was angry. Did they argue?
She really laid into him. Rick said she went a little berserk.
In the car?
That's right.
Logan, what exactly are you trying to tell me here? I'm sorry.
We lost you too. I just thank God you're okay. She would have done so many great things. I want you to tell me what happened. I want you to tell me how Phoebe died.
Steffi, don't. Please don't ever say anything like that or even think anything like that.
If it weren't for me, Phoebe wouldn't have gone to confront Rick.
No, that's not true. She was angry with him. She's been really angry with him ever since he had the affair with your mother. Look, my guess is that she's wanted to confront him for months, and this was her chance.
No, I don't think that. I think she would have avoided him the whole time she was in LA. She flipped out when I told her what happened. He kissed me.
What?
It was just a stupid plan to make Dad angry. He knew how much Dad hated when he was with Phoebe, so he figured he'd try to make a move on me.
Little bastard.
I'm not stupid. I saw right through him. I slapped him hard and I told him to never touch me again.
That's why Phoebe went after him.
She was so upset. God, if I just kept it to myself, she would still be here. She wouldn't have gotten that car. My sister would be alive.
Phoebe was angry at Rick. She felt humiliated.
What does that have to do with the accident?
They were arguing, Ridge. Things got heated.
And Rick wasn't paying attention to the road then.
She was attacking him. She was physically hitting him, and she was screaming in his face, and then she started scratching at him.
No.
Yes, Ridge. She was in such a tirade. She grabbed the steering wheel and jerked it, and then pushed her foot down on the accelerator. And Rick was doing everything he possibly could just to keep the car under control. And he put his foot on the brake and she pushed her on the accelerator and they just skidded off the road into a ditch.
So it was her fault?
No, look, I know this is not easy to hear.
This was her fault. Your son crashes his car, kills my daughter, and Phoebe's to blame?
Steffi, I understand why you feel this way. I do. But honey, you haven't done anything wrong.
I should have just kept my big mouth shut.
No, I don't think it would have made a difference. Phoebe was really angry with Rick for a long, long time.
She never needed to know. Rick tried to use me to get to Dad, so what? I had him figured out right away. There was no need to upset Phoebe with it.
Honey, stop blaming yourself. Listen to me. This isn't your fault. Stop blaming yourself.
I wonder if Rick even realizes what he'd done to my father. What this stupid kiss did to my sister.
Don't cry. It's not your fault, okay? Rick's to blame. And I don't want you to ever feel guilty because you told the truth.
Phoebe died in Ridge's arms. And she was singing him a song.
No, I mean before that, what happened in the car? Did she say anything about me? Phoebe was very upset with me yesterday. She'd been holding in a lot of anger about what happened between you and me. Did she say anything about it?
Taylor, come on.
Just tell me. Just tell me, did she say anything about me?
Your son was speeding along a residential road, and my dead daughter is the one that's to blame.
I'm not saying that, Ridge. It was an accident. Nobody's at fault.
You said Rick said that Phoebe was beating up on him, while somehow simultaneously putting her foot on the accelerator pedal. You want to explain the logistics of that? I don't understand. How could she get her foot on the accelerator pedal?
I don't know. I don't know, but that's how it happened.
According to Rick.
Yes.
Well, I'm sorry, but I'm finding it damn difficult to take Rick's word about anything these days.
Ridge, what happened was a horrible accident. And we're all grieving right now. We may never know what happened out there on that road. And I am not saying that Phoebe caused it, but there was a fight. And it ended in a tragedy. Let's just leave it at that, okay? Ridge, I love you. I don't want to argue about this. Please, we can work through this.
Yes, we can. And I love you. That's why it concerns me, worries me, that you're being manipulated by your own son.
Let's just focus on our family right now. We've got to tell Hope and RJ about the accident, and we've got to make
I'm
arrangements.
so
for us
sick
to-
and tired of hearing you call this an accident. Don't let her get away with that.
You have to listen to me. Phoebe did not die hating you. That's the truth.
If I hadn't gotten involved with you, I made the whole thing worse.
Taylor, you're wrong.
Because I had a
You're
relationship
wrong.
with you.
No, you can't think about it like that, Taylor. Come on.
Why don't you think that's true? Look what she did. She left town. She went away as far as she could get from me because she didn't want to be around me.
You tried time and time again to end things with me. And I wouldn't let that happen, okay, because I loved you too much. And you loved me too much, but I realize now that that wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. I couldn't see what it was doing to you. I couldn't see what it was doing to Phoebe, how it was hurting Phoebe. It was my fault. It was my fault. I convinced you to stay with me.
Well, you know what? That doesn't make it okay. I made the choice. It's my fault. I did it because I made the choice to be with you. I hurt my daughter. I hurt her. I don't know how I'm going to be able to live with it.
How dare you barge into this house again with your insane accusations?
Again?
Oh, yeah. Stephanie stopped by last night, trying to drag Rick off to jail. Or me, for that matter. She wasn't sure which one of us was guilty of Phoebe's death.
Mother?
You know, if I could have had you put away in jail years ago for the crimes you committed against your own children, I would have. But it's a little late for that. However, it's not too late to bring Rick to justice for taking Phoebe's life. Did she tell you why Phoebe was in his car?
She wanted to confront him about Taylor. Tell him how much he hurt her.
Well, you're halfway there.
Stephanie.
She was in the car because he'd made a pass at her sister. He kissed Steffi.
What?
Steffi is now beside herself with guilt because she discussed this with Phoebe. That's why Phoebe went to see him. That's why Phoebe was in the car, and that's why she's dead.
Okay, look. Rick made a foolish mistake. He did something really stupid. He was just trying to get a rise out of you, Ridge. It was one stupid prank, one little kiss to try to bug you.
Oh, for God's sakes, Brooke. You knew about this and you didn't tell me?
I just found out.
Oh, my God. You're calling these things stupid, silly pranks? He gets out of the hospital the day he checks out, and he can actually walk? He's just pretending? That's a silly prank? And this internet thing?
What?
Well, I mean, everything that she said that was supposed to be wonderful about you so you would feel good? He edited the whole thing, so it sounded as though she was talking about him. And she stands there and calls these things silly pranks. They were supposed to break you up, and nobody was supposed to get hurt.
I was going to tell you everything.
Nobody was supposed to get hurt, right? Nobody was going to get hurt except for his daughter. And she's dead.
Stop it! Ridge, you know Rick would never do anything to hurt Phoebe. You know that. This was just a horrible accident. Tell me you know that.
No. What you have to do, Ridge, is call the police and tell them that you want this investigated to the fullest extent of the law. And Rick has to be prosecuted. And if there is the evidence there, which I believe there is, then he has to be sent away. He has to be put in jail.